Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to make this beaded trim. You can either do it where you already have your ribbon sewn onto your garb, or you can do your ribbon and make it like this, and then later sew it on whatever. So you are going to need cross stitch thread and whatever type of bead that you're wanting to use. So the first thing you're going to do is thread your needle and put it through your ribbon, and then you are going to put, obviously, your beads on thread. I'm using 11. You can use whatever pattern you're wanting. It also depends if you're using seed beads or big beads. And you're going to want to push these, oh goodness, all the way down to the trim. Then I'm going to put a big bead, which is a lamp work bead that I made, and I will show you guys how to make those later. You don't have to have a big bead at the end if you didn't want to. And then you just want your last bead to be one that cannot go through the hole of the one before it. So I'm going to use another seed bead at the end, and instead of going through the bead, we're going to go over it. So like that. The rest of the beads we are going to go through. I would suggest doing these as close to one at a time as you can. I usually get impatient and go through multiples, but it is smartest to do just one, because if you do more than one, you could potentially be going through the threads and you will get lots of knots and make a big mess. Okay, so now that we've went through all of the beads, we're going to push them all to the end, or back to the end by the ribbon. You also want to make sure that you keep it a little bit loose, because if you don't, they're going to stick up in the air. It's too tight. So we want to loosen it up a little bit. Alright, so if you pull after having them at the top, it's going to go up. And then done. So, as I said, you're going to want to have a little bit of slack at the top. If you don't, it will be too tight, and it will make it stick up all funny. So, now that we have it there, we're going to sew into the thread. And, sorry, into the ribbon. And then you would just come back and do it again. Which I am going to show you one without a big bead real quick. So I have my 11 beads on here, and just like we did the time before, our last bead we just won't go through. We will go through all of them except for the last bead, and it will apply exactly the same as one with a big bead or not. So basically you can use any bead that you would like. And that's it. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them below, and I will get to them as soon as I possibly can. Bye.